Boker Tov, good morning. Today is Friday, July 10th, Erev Shabbat of the first of the 3 weeks, Shabbatot, leading up to Tisha B'Av. And tomorrow we'll be reading the first chapter of Yirmiyahu. God makes it clear that I have chosen you. In fact, I've always known you. B'terem itzarcha bebeten yidaticha. I've already set you apart, made you known, that you would be my prophet before you were even formed in the womb. And immediately Yirmiyahu tries to evade. I don't know how to speak. I'm a lad, he says. And then God responds to him, you're going to do it. And then he says, Al tira mipnehem, don't be afraid of them. Kitcha ani lahatzilecha ne'um Adonai, because I am with you to protect you, to save you. That is the word of God. So already Yirmiyahu should know that to be the prophet of God is not merely to carry responsibility, but it's also to feel in danger, to feel that somehow I'm speaking God's truth, and yet there's hostility towards me. And as the Haftarah continues, and God lays out for him the prophecy that he's going to be giving, B'dibarti mishpati otam, and you're going to have to speak my judgments against them, al kol ra tamasher zavuni, for all their evil that they have deserted me, for serving other gods. And then God says, Ve'ata tez nor matnecha, you, as for you, you should gird your loins. Ve'kamta b'dibarta alehem et kol asher anochi etzaveka, with those loins girded, you'll arise and you'll speak upon them all that I'll command you. Al techat mipnehem penachitcha lifnehem. Don't be afraid, don't be dismayed, lest I dismay you before them, God says. And I'm going to make you an ir miftzar, ulamud barzel, ulchamot nechoshet. You'll be a protected, fortified city, an iron pillar, brazen walls against all the whole land. And they're going to fight against you, but they won't be able to beat you. God says, I'm with you to protect, to save you. Wow, that's a great mission you get to be on. You're tasked with doing God's work, and all you know is that people are going to fight you. You come with words of truth, and people are going to fight the words of truth because the truth hurts, or the truth is too uncomfortable, or the truth demands too much of you, and asks too much of you, and requires too much of you, and it stings. And so people are going to be fighting, but God says of the prophet that I'll be with you. I switch back and forth between the yous in my reference. I'll be with you, and I'll protect you, and you just be strong and continue to put forward that message. I have to tell you, when I read these words of the prophet, I sometimes feel that he is like a epidemiologist, or Dr. Fauci, or others who have been speaking hard truths about just how challenging the situation is, and what it demands of us in our behaviors. We here in our community, I think, know how to behave well. We've certainly been frightened by what we've all experienced all around us. And although there are people who are, I guess, feeling the fatigue of it all, we still understand how serious this is, and how careful we have to be in all of our behaviors. And then we look around the country and we see other people who we wish we could understand it. And in the name of liberty, in the name of who knows what, are claiming you can't tell us what to do, you can't restrict us. And they go out and they just behave in such irresponsible behaviors. I'm not talking about whether or not businesses should be opened or not, and the challenge of which is worse. To die of disease, or die of poverty, as it were, to put it in those dark terms. I'm just talking about what it means to walk down the street and or walk into a building and refuse to wear a mask. And so you have people who stand up and have to speak the hard truths, right? The prophets, the Jeremiahs of our day, and say, you can't do this, folks, and you're going to get hurt. And you're going to hurt yourself and others if you're not responsive to this call. And all they get in response is either dismissiveness or even threats. I remember reading, was it a few weeks ago, that there needed to be security upgraded for some of these folks. And you say, what a crazy world it is. Jeremiah knew it, and God warned him, and that it would happen, and we know it now. And God promised that ultimately the truth of what He had to share was going to be prevailing because God was with him. I can't know whether or not God is with Dr. Fauci and all the others who speak the hard truths, but I have to believe that, and ultimately hope. And as I pray in every day of my prayers that God should protect us from ourselves in this country and beyond. In Israel as well, where they've had such success, and suddenly it's come crashing down. God willing, should we be able to regroup there and yet provide protection for people. People just have to be in this for the long haul, to hear the word, to hear it repeated once and more by the prophet or the prophets, and be ready to respond as they need to respond, in order for all of us to be safe and for this to be put behind us sooner rather than later. God willing, we'll have a vaccine that will come out, but until that time, we still have to be quite careful in all that we do. Our society, our families, our children, everyone, in order to ensure that the word is still kept.